Nobody saw this coming. Cardi B in tears after Stef Diggs' unbelievable decision for their baby. The sun had barely risen over Los Angeles when Cardi B opened her eyes to a soft, uneasy silence. The house felt heavy, as if holding its breath. For weeks she had been exhausted, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, since learning that their newborn son's health had taken an unexpected and frightening turn. Doctors had been careful with their words, but the fear in their eyes said everything. Stefon Diggs had barely left her side. The usually confident NFL star had become quieter, more observant, more protective than ever. Every night he would hold Cardi and whisper, "We're gonna get through this, I promise you. I'll do anything for our baby." But anything came with a cost. And this morning, that cost was finally catching up to him. Chapter 1, Signs something was wrong. Their baby boy, whom fans were already calling Baby Gem, had been born premature, fragile, and with a rare respiratory condition the doctors struggled to stabilize. Cardi slept in the hospital more nights than she did at home, refusing to leave unless Stef forced her. But over the last few days, Stef had been behaving differently. He took longer phone calls. He spent hours outside pacing. He didn't sleep. Cardi noticed everything. So that morning, when she woke up alone in the bed and heard quiet muffled talking downstairs, her heart sank. She wrapped her robe around her shaking body and slowly walked down the stairs. That's when she heard Stef's voice crack, something he rarely let happen. "If this is what it takes, then do it. I don't care about the consequences anymore." Cardi froze. Her breath left her body. What was he planning? Chapter 2, The Decision He Never Wanted to Make. When Stef ended the call, she walked into the room, her eyes glossy with fear. "Stefon, what's going on? What are you doing behind my back?" He turned to her slowly, shoulders tense, eyes red. He reached for her hand, but Cardi pulled hers away instinctively. "Tell me," she whispered. Stef inhaled sharply, fighting to steady himself. "I made a decision, for our son." Her entire body went cold. "What decision?" He hesitated, then finally broke. "I'm giving up football for the rest of the season, maybe permanently, so I can dedicate all my time to getting our baby the treatment he needs overseas." Cardi gasped. Her hand flew to her mouth. Tears instantly flooded her eyes. "You're what?" "My contract, my bonuses, the entire career I built, none of that matters more than him." Cardi shook her head, stumbling back as the weight of his words hit her. "Stef, this is your dream. Everything you worked for since you were a kid. You can't just—" "I already did," he said softly. Chapter 3, Why He Made the Sacrifice. Cardi's tears started falling uncontrollably. Stef wrapped his arms around her, even as she trembled. "There's a new treatment abroad," he whispered into her hair. "It's specialized, experimental, expensive. Insurance won't cover it. And I can't juggle football and this. Our son needs 100% of me." Cardi clutched his shirt tightly. "You should have told me, we could have planned it together." Stef's voice broke. "I didn't want you to feel guilty. I saw how you blamed yourself every single day, crying in the hallway, praying over him. I thought if I took this burden, maybe you'd breathe again." That's when Cardi completely collapsed into him, body shaking, tears soaking his chest. "You're giving up your whole life for him," she sobbed. Stef cupped her face gently. "No. I'm choosing our family. That's not giving up, that's leveling up." Chapter 4, The World Finds Out. Not even 24 hours later, the internet exploded. ESPN broke the story first. Then TMZ. Then every major outlet. Stefon Diggs takes indefinite leave from the NFL, sources say, family emergency. Fans shocked as Diggs steps away at peak of his career. Cardi B seen leaving hospital in tears hours before announcement. Millions of fans posted theories, prayers, reactions. Some were supportive. Some were confused. Some were furious at the league. But none knew the truth. Only Cardi and Stef did. And that truth bonded them tighter than ever. Chapter 5, The Conversation That Broke Her. Later that night, Cardi and Stef sat beside their baby boy's hospital bed. The machines hummed softly. His tiny chest rose and fell unevenly. Cardi stroked his little hand, tears dripping silently onto the blanket. Stef sat beside her, watching both of them, his heart full, heavy, determined. "Stef," she whispered, not looking up. "What if this doesn't work?" He placed a hand over hers. "Then we keep fighting." "And if?" "There is no if," he said firmly, voice trembling. "He is going to make it. I refuse to imagine anything else." Cardi finally turned to look at him. Her eyes were swollen, red, desperate. "What about your future? Your career?" Stef leaned in and kissed her forehead. "You and our baby are my future." That sentence shattered her. She broke into sobs, loud, painful, heartbreaking sobs. The kind that come from the deepest parts of the soul. Stef held her through every second of it. Chapter 6, The Moment Fans Didn't See Coming. As they prepared for their flight overseas, Cardi walked outside the hospital for air. Stef followed her quietly. The sunset painted the sky with soft oranges and blues, almost peaceful. Cardi turned to him suddenly and grabbed his hands. "I want you to know," she said, voice trembling, "I didn't fall in love with Stefan the NFL star. I fell in love with the man you are right now." Tears streamed down her face. "I never saw this coming, but this decision you made, it made me love you even more." Stef pulled her close with a shaking smile. "We're gonna save our baby," he whispered. "Together." Cardi nodded into his chest, crying again, but this time, not just from fear. From gratitude. From hope. From love. Final scene, the unbelievable decision that changed everything. As the plane lifted off, Cardi looked back down at the city lights and then at Stef sleeping beside their baby's incubator. She finally understood the full weight of what he had done. He had given up fame. He had given up fortune. He had given up the dream of millions. All for one tiny heartbeat. Her tears fell silently. This was the sacrifice no one expected. The story nobody saw coming. And it would change their family forever. Here is your very long, dramatic, viral-style fictional story for Nobody Saw This Coming. Cardi B left in tears after Stef Diggs' unbelievable decision for their baby. White medium star Nobody Saw This Coming. Cardi B left in tears after Stef Diggs' unbelievable decision for their baby. A very long, emotional, dramatic fictional story. Cardi B had grown used to the spotlight, used to the noise, the cameras, the rumors, but nothing could have prepared her for the emotional storm that was about to hit her life. She thought her world with Stefan Diggs had finally stabilized after months of turbulence, media drama, and family tensions, but the truth was that a new chapter was opening, and this one would test every part of her heart. Their newborn son, a tiny, fragile, perfect little boy whose arrival had shocked the world, had become the center of everything. Fans were obsessed. The internet was on fire. Every move Cardi and Stef made was magnified, analyzed, twisted, and turned. But behind the headlines, behind the glam and paparazzi flashes, Cardi was privately struggling. The baby's condition hadn't been improving at the pace doctors hoped. Some days were good, others brought Cardi to her knees. She slept beside the crib. She prayed more in the last month than she had in the last 5 years. Combined. She barely posted online anymore. One night, under dim hospital lights, she whispered, "God, please, just give me strength. Give him strength." Stef heard her. And it broke him. He was the type of man to hide his emotions, but this time he felt helpless. He watched the woman he loved dissolve into tears every night, blaming herself, questioning everything. And that's when Stef made a decision nobody, not Cardi, not their families, not even the fans, could have ever imagined. A decision so big, so life-changing, so shocking, it would change their entire future. White medium star: the unbelievable decision. Stef had secretly been working on something for weeks. He didn't tell Cardi because he didn't want to raise her hopes until he was sure it could happen. He met with specialists. He traveled quietly, using private entrances and anonymous appointments. He called in favors from people he hadn't spoken to in years. He pushed, negotiated, insisted, begged, whatever it took. He wanted the best medical team in the world for their baby, not just the best in the US. And when he found them, he didn't hesitate. Stef arranged, with his own money, a full international neonatal expert team to relocate temporarily to the US just to treat their child. He also bought a specialized neonatal care unit, the safest, most advanced environment money could buy, and had it installed inside their home, so Cardi wouldn't have to spend nights in the hospital anymore. Then he went further. Stef made a vow, one he had never said out loud before. He would take a break from football, at the peak of his career, to stay home and care for his baby. It was unheard of. A superstar stepping back, not because of injury, not because of contract disputes, but because he wanted to be a full-time father. His team was stunned. The league was stunned. The media went wild. But Stef didn't care. He said only one thing. My son needs me more than the NFL does. White medium star Cardi's emotional breakdown. Cardi wasn't supposed to find out that night. Stef had planned a private reveal after everything was set. But life had other plans. Cardi came home earlier than expected, exhausted, overwhelmed, emotionally drained. She walked into the nursery and saw unfamiliar equipment, boxes, machines, medical staff quietly preparing. Her heart raced. She thought something terrible had happened. Then she turned and saw Stef standing behind her, eyes soft, voice steady but trembling. But Cardi, I did all this for him. For you. For us. Cardi froze. Her mind couldn't process it. Then Stef told her everything, the team he assembled, the specialists, the equipment, the temporary leave from football, his promise to be present every single day. Cardi's knees buckled. She covered her mouth and sobbed so deeply it was like every pain she'd been holding finally cracked open all at once. Stefan, why didn't you tell me? Why would you do something so big? He stepped forward, gently pulling her into his arms. Because you've carried everything. You've sacrificed your career, your body, your peace, your sleep, and I can't watch you struggle alone anymore. You deserve help. Our baby deserves the best. And I want to be the father he needs, not just the man the world sees on game day. Cardi cried harder. Not from sadness. From relief. From gratitude. From overwhelming love. No man had ever put her first like this. No man had ever sacrificed something so huge for her happiness. White medium star: the world reacts. Within hours, leaks started spreading online. Stef Diggs takes break from NFL for newborn son. Cardi B's house transformed into medical unit. What happened? Nobody saw this coming. Fans were stunned. Critics were speechless. Supporters called Stef Father of the Year. But the biggest headline came from a close family insider who told media. Cardi cried tears of gratitude. Stef's decision saved her emotionally. The internet melted. Millions of fans shared messages. Thousands of mothers related to the pressure Cardi faced. And everyone praised the unity this couple was showing during the darkest moment of their lives. White medium star: a new chapter begins. For the first time in weeks, Cardi slept through the night, peacefully, knowing her son was safe, monitored, protected. Stef stayed up beside the crib, humming softly, rocking the baby in his arms, whispering promises into the quiet air. "I'm not going anywhere. Daddy's right here." And in that moment, under the soft glow of the nursery lights, Cardi woke up, walked to the doorway, and watched them, father and son, bonded in pure, unconditional love. Her heart flooded with emotion again. She whispered, "Nobody saw this coming, not even me." Stef turned and smiled gently. "We're a family now. And I'll do whatever it takes to keep us together." Cardi stepped toward him, rested her head on his shoulder, and let tears fall, not of pain, but of overwhelming love.